Everybody, Dr. Grant here, and today we're going to be talking about the best nootropics to help with your memory and focus. So, what I like to do is whenever someone is coming in needing help with their focus, their memory, I always like to look at case studies to explain how I come to these conclusions as far as what has helped with me and also with my patients of what are the best definitely nootropics for memory and focus. So the very first case study is if you're someone that can't focus, there's no motivation. We want to look at usually looking at different neurotransmitters that could be possibly off. And the classic issue that we'll all see is that dopamine being low, but also tyrosine. So if we see both of those low, what's going to be the best for focus and motivation specifically is going to be something like a dopa boost that I like. And none of this is ever sponsored. Like, you guys think I sponsor videos. I've never sponsored one video ever. But it's just what I like using, what I find effective. And I like this brand because it has what I need to target both dopamine and tyrosine, because it has N-acetyltyrosine and it also has mucunapurines, which basically has L-dopa in it, which helps make dopamine. So like those are the two big ingredients. And then as far as other things, green tea is really great for also dopamine as well as vitamin B6. So that's the reason why I like Dopa Boost. It's one of the ones I tend to recommend probably, I'd say about like maybe at 70% of the time if we see issues right here, but only if we see issues in that case. Now, when it comes to memory issues, typically, especially when we see this with adults, it's going to be usually an issue of where we do see, where did it go? Serine being an issue. Now, serine, when that is low, that can impact your memory. And so I like to incorporate phosphatidylserine, and that can help with memory, especially if it is deficient. Another one that if you're forgetting all the time and having memory issues, especially like short-term memory issues, another one to also look out for is choline. So choline, like this patient, their levels were low, and incorporating phosphatidylcholine can help with that memory recall and memory and forgetting all the time. Okay. Another one to also look out for that I have found for myself, especially with that kind of short-term memory, if you're like going on your phone, you're wondering, why was I going on my phone? Or like you're driving somewhere, it's like, where was I driving? Like, where was I going? Like, if you're finding those issues, I find that typically that has a lot to do with phenylethylamine levels being low. And so just like with this patient, I've also had this issue, run these tests and seen that. And when I've incorporated D-L-phenylalanine, that really solved the problem. I wouldn't have issues of like going on my phone and wondering what I was supposed to be looking up. And then typically when I've been supplementing this helps drastically. It helps a lot with my patients and clients. It also can help a lot with focus too, because it's the beginning of the dopamine pathway. And so it's going to also help support dopamine. So obviously a really great one to be looking out for. Another one, now, if you are forgetting and unfocused because of more of depressive symptoms, you want to tackle this differently. And typically, if this case, what we'll see in lab work is we'll see both norepinephrine, epinephrine, and also serotonin being low. And so now we want to target two different pathways here. We want to be targeting both the serotonin pathway, so incorporating something like 5-HTP, and also tryptophan are some really great ones to help with more of the depressive symptoms. Now, L-theanine, on the other hand, can help a lot with low norepinephrine and epinephrine, and also help with serotonin. So those are really good ones if you are feeling depressed and also having memory issues. So especially if you run these tests and see if those are deficient, just like this patient was with mine. Okay. Now, another issue could be that stress and anxiety and agitation could be a component of forgetting and having focus issues. So if that's the case, usually what I will see, it's kind of the opposite of what we've been looking at. Is what I'll see is dopamine levels being spiked, as well as serotonin and GABA levels being elevated. So when that's elevated, this can impact still focus as well as memory issues, because you're in a high stress state. You're having too much dopamine, too much serotonin, too much GABA. And those are the symptoms that will typically happen. So you definitely don't want to be taking these other different supplements like Dopa Boost. I wouldn't be recommending Dopa Boost. That would just make things worse. Or even like a stimulant medication. That would just make things worse as well. So what you should be doing is typically in this case, you would L-theanine you could still use. That's why I love L-theanine is because it's a great neutralizer. It helps bring things into balance, whether it's low or high. But another one when it is high to really incorporate is rhodiola. Rhodiola helps lower that down, both serotonin, dopamine, as well as GABA. And a lot of times we'll see the issue is the cofactors that help build and break down and modulate these different neurotransmitters. And a lot of the main important cofactors are different B vitamins. So if we see B vitamins that are deficient, like it was with this patient, then we definitely want to incorporate something like that. Okay. So now the next thing here is also looking at if you're in an exhausted state that's contributing to your focus issues as well as your memory issues. So if you're in an exhausted state, this could be due to cortisol. So just like this patient, their cortisol levels was low pretty much throughout the entire day and even into the evening. And if that's the case, then you want to be using some supportive adrenal support, something like adrenal desiccated. And then in other cases, you might also find vitamin D being low that can be impacting not only the fatigue situation, but also the focus as well as the memory issues. So that's something that always we want to make sure we're tackling at all different angles that could be impacting that. Okay. Now, some other additional things is also looking at other different hormones that could be contributing to forgetting and not being focused because it's contributing to different mood swings. And so with this patient, it's like looking at, okay, is there a progesterone issue, which was with this patient? Or with this patient where the DHEA levels were low. And so you want to make sure that you're supplementing those that could be contributing to the forgetfulness and the unfocused issues. And so adding like natural progesterone cream or DHEA is another one that you could be incorporating. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. Like, cause like if you would like to find out this information, like, would you like to find out this information for your own focus and memory issues? Because I'd love to help you out because it really requires doing more in-depth investigative work to really truly identify the root causes. This is how we find what are the best nootropics and supplements for your individual needs because we investigate first to see what is the issue. Because doing this alone is not easy because really it requires identifying the root cause, getting customization, more individualized treatment that needs to be in place. And so here's exactly how I could help you out if you are interested. I've set aside a time to speak with you personally to help you start getting results. And it's called the Focus Mindset Strategy Session. And so this is like really doing a first initial consultation with me so I can dive deep into your medical history to really help you get unstuck into the situation that you're dealing with your ADHD symptoms and your focus issues. So here's exactly how we'll do this together. We'll first uncover what is behind the ADHD symptoms. What is the root of the problem? What is the blind spot that's contributing to all these symptoms? Because if you've been doing medications, trying different supplements, and still haven't gotten the results, it's because you have not targeted the root cause of the problem that's contributing to all these different symptoms. And so that's why I spend time on this first initial consultation to really dive in deep into your medical history to identify what that is. And then, we'll customize a plan of action that will help you get unstuck. And then finally, I will determine if it makes sense for us to work more closely together, to do additional labs, to investigate further, and doing more support if it makes sense. So what you're getting is it's a one-on-one strategy session with me. It's 45 minutes to an hour, and that's a $750 value. And you also get access to my nutrition lifestyle tracking app that I use with all my patients and clients. And then if you do purchase today, you also get access to my HD health course that was retailed at $597 when I used to sell that. So you get all that. It's over $1,000 of value. You get that all for just $297. So all you got to do is just click on the link in the description below. Once you clicked on that link, it'll take you to this page. You'll hit that button to click to book a consultation. You'll fill out your information to purchase. Once you've done that, this is really, really important. You still need to actually book your appointment. So once you purchase, then you actually have to book your appointment. So please do not forget to do that. Pick a date and time that works best for you. Also, I do require, if you do have a spouse or significant other, please pick a date and time that works best for you. It's a requirement. I like to just see the outside perspective of your spouse or significant other is going through with your ADHD symptoms. That helps me get better context. So that is a requirement. Um, and then fill out your name, info there. Then I'll take you to this page. Please do check your email to make sure you got your confirmation email of your appointment with the provided Zoom link, as well as fill out to activate your Practice Better account that gives you access to the nutrition lifestyle tracking app, and to fill out the client questionnaire at least a couple days before our appointment. And be thorough with that, because that's how I determine what kind of labs we need to implement and what kind of action plan we need to implement. And then block out 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes we need to go a full hour, depending on how many questions you do have. And do show up early. I give you about a 10-minute grace period. Otherwise, I have to mark it as no show. But we send you lots of reminders, so that shouldn't be an issue. But just please mark it on your calendar and set your own reminders as well. So if you really wanted to finally tackle your ADHD, then this is the first step, is to book that initial consultation with me, so we can finally dive deeper into your ADHD situation and your focus and memory issues to find the root cause of the problem. So I'd love to help you out. So I hope to see you on the inside, and I'll see you guys all on the next live stream. Thanks. Bye.